From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Hello everyone, welcome to OpenLine. I'm Ben Hall on Tuesday night. Tonight we are talking about scams, how to avoid scams. And what we want you to do is, if you have been in a situation where you have stopped a scam, call in and tell us about it. That's part of what we want to do. We also just want to talk about a new program AARP is doing. And we have with us two people from AARP. Happy to have them. Alan Marks, AARP's consumer protection blogger. Thank you for being with us, Alan.
Thank you.
And Tara Shaver, you have been on before with AARP Tennessee. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me back.
So we're talking about scams and frauds. We recently talked about this with Metro police officers. We see a lot of them. A lot of people fall for these. Let's start broadly. How widespread is this? Alan, let's start with you.
It's very widespread. You know, some of it varies from a minor annoyance. I put that down to violations of things like the do not call rules and robocalls, which is one of my personal pet peeves, to very serious, where people lose their life savings, their bank accounts are invaded, their privacy is invaded.
And what is AARP doing? What is this new program?
So this new program, this new project that we're working on is the AARP Fraud Watch Network. And this is a network that we have built out that allows people to report frauds and scams and schemes right where they are, things that are happening in their neighborhoods close to home, and they're able to tell others about it, which allows us to turn around and alert folks all across the country when we start to see trends in scamming. So it's very effective. It's a great way for us to help each other in a social network type setting.
And so if someone gets a call and they know it's a scam, hopefully, and they don't go through with it, and then they could call and report it, and you track that information.
They can call. They can also go online to aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork, and they can report it right there online. And so they can also see a map of the United States and see where these common scams and schemes are happening. They can look and see what folks are up to in other states, but they can also report right there on the website.
And we've invited people to call in with, you know, things that have happened to them. What do you think we're going to hear? And I'm going to start taking calls here in a minute. But Alan, you know, you said it runs the whole gamut. What are some of the things you expect to hear most?
Well, I would think that the internet, while it's a blessing in some ways, you can get all kinds of useful information. It's a curse in other ways, meaning it makes you vulnerable to people who are out there lurking and waiting for you. One that I've noticed a lot recently is we're getting, you know, emails, Amazon gift card, for example. Except when you look at it very carefully, the address on it is not Amazon.com, it's joesmith.com. And to me, that's a pretty good clue that it's not legit. But they can also use some computer gimmickry and make the return address look right. So you really need to be careful on any of those that you open.
And we're seeing scams, obviously, where they're trying to get money out of you. You've won a big prize, pay the taxes and we'll give you the big prize.
Yep.
There's that kind of scam. But there's also the kind of scam where they want to get your information and then they can do all kinds of things with it. Is that right? The identity type thing.
They can get credit issued in your name. They can open a credit card account. If they get enough, they can get into your medical records, or they can use your information to go to a doctor and get medical treatment, and you get the bill.
And as we set the table here, the do not call registry. I get calls about this. I mean, as a reporter, people are very frustrated when they get a call and they say they're on the registry. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. How do you get on it? How effective is it? What do you do if you get a call and you're on it?
Well, there's a number that you can get easily on the internet. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me, but it puts you into the do not call registry. You sign up there, and it's good for a number of years once you register. I think you can register 2 or 3 telephone numbers at a time, so you don't have to call individually. The way I think about it is it's useful to be on it because the people who want to follow the law aren't going to call you, and the people who are going to call you obviously don't want to follow the law. Telling them that you're on the do not call registry, you're talking to somebody who could care less. They want your money. They don't care whether they're invading your privacy or breaking that law, and it's very difficult for the enforcement agencies to find the people who are ignoring it. Interestingly, the Federal Trade Commission and the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, both work on that. And the FTC set up something that I think they called honeypots, which were false phone numbers. Not false, but they were phone numbers designed to get people who were not going to care about do not call.
Right. And are we seeing prosecutions? What about just scams in general? Do you see these things get prosecuted?
Yes, although telephone scams, I think, and internet scams are among the harder ones to get information on. Every once in a while, when I'm writing a blog for AARP, I try and put one in where they actually caught somebody and they got socked. But, you know, unfortunately, as one of my proofreaders in my office used to say, can't you ever write anything that's upbeat? You've got all these people who are running scams and they're getting away with it.
Right. So. And so this Fraud Watch Network is a response to that.
Yeah, exactly. It's our intent is to stop those things in their tracks. So as soon as someone reports some of these activities and the alerts go out, then the more aware we are and the more likely we are to be able to spot them and call them on it. And so even if we don't, you know, take it to the fullest extent of the law per se, we're able to stop other people from being victimized, and especially those who may be more vulnerable to it.
The best thing that's happening there is if you know about something, if you've read about it, you're less likely to fall victim to it than people who, you know, get a call out of the blue and haven't a clue as to that it's a scam or that they're going to be a victim.
And I think it's interesting to hear from people, because so many of us have gotten a call, and sometimes we get scammed, and sometimes, you know, it's valuable to talk about that, but maybe people are reluctant to talk about it. Sometimes we don't get scammed, and we knew they were trying to scam us. And so if that's your situation, either one, give us a call. Let's go to the phones now. Rhonda on line 1. Hello, Rhonda.
Hello.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hello.
What do you want to talk about?
I have a cleaning company, and I had someone texting me today. At first, they were saying that they were needing a cleaning done, and then it turned into them asking me for my name and my address, and then they were asking. They were asking if I had a PayPal and if they could ask me if I could give them my PayPal account, and then it turned into them even saying, could I be their payroll something, but it was all a big old scam.
You could tell it was a big scam.
Yes, I could tell it was a scam.
And it sounds like this was somebody who knew you ran a business. Is that what you feel like?
Yes, they found me from the website.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Rhonda, for sharing that. I'm glad you didn't get scammed on that. What do you think about what you heard there?
Well, it seems to me that if you're running a business, people should be paying you. You shouldn't be paying them. The PayPal account is something they would dial in if you accept PayPal.
Yeah.
They don't need your information on it. All they need to know is, do you accept PayPal?
Yeah. It's very interesting. There is a lot of information about us out in, you know, cyberspace and in our paper mail still. There's a lot of information that can be gained from dumpster diving, for example, and sometimes these scammers will call you with the intent of just getting more information. So when they say something that you confirm just because it's a natural response, then they've got you. They know that you're with them, and they're going to keep asking you questions, whether to confirm or to correct, and then they have even more. So as Alan mentioned earlier, you know, whether they want to open an account in your name or they want to, you know, try to use your information, your identity in a different way, the more you continue talking to them, the more information you're giving them to be able to do that. So big no-no.
Right. Okay.
And on that, you might, you know, also know that there are scammers out there who have got information that you wouldn't think would be publicly available. Yeah. They can find it on the internet. They can find it through a dishonest employee at a company you deal with. Yeah. You shouldn't let down your guard because they call you and say, well, I know that you have, you know, this credit card with this information on it. You know, it's just a way to sort of soften you up.
All right, we're going to take a break. Mike, hold on the line if you want to call. There's the number, 737-plus, 737-7587, several lines open. We are talking about scams and frauds, and we are talking also with what the AARP is doing about that. So we'll take a break and be back right after this.